Isaiah prophesies much about Jesus. And he's told us that a child would be born unto us and the government would be upon his shoulders. Well, in Isaiah chapter 32, verse 1, it says, "Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment." You and I have seen good leaders, presidents, kings, and we've seen bad ones. But we've never seen one that was perfectly righteous, except for Jesus. But one of these days, he's going to rule the entire earth. And his kingdom is going to completely cover the earth. And it's going to be a righteous kingdom. And I can't wait to see that, to be a part of that. He tells us, it says, "A man shall be a hiding place from the wind." You know, I don't know about you, but I grew up in eastern New Mexico, and I've seen some wind in my day. And I remember one time we were branding calves in the springtime. It was really dry. And I don't know how hard the wind was blowing, but it was terrible. And the dust was blowing, and it filled your nose and your eyes with dirt. And when it came time to eat some lunch, we got in an old barn and just trying to get out of the wind just a little bit so that we could eat a bite of lunch before we finished what we had to do that day. Well, he says that's what the millennial kingdom is like. A man is going to be a hiding place from the wind. You'll be able to run to Jesus, and he's going to hide you from the wind, a covert from the tempest, a place to get out of the storm. You know, you and I, we encounter storms in life, and we can run to Jesus and get out of the storm. He says, as rivers of water in a dry place. You know, when you come to Jesus and you get a drink of the living water that he offers to you, it's like being out in the desert with no source of water whatsoever and finding a river that's moving and being able to get a drink. And we can come to him and get that living water. He says, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And that makes perfect sense to me, because I grew up somewhere where there's not very many trees. And on a really hot day and you need to get out of the sun and find some shade, you're not going to go shade up under a tree because there aren't any. But if you can find a big old rock, you could get underneath that and get under the edge of that shadow, and you could get a break from the sun. Well, that's what the Bible is using all of these metaphors to say. This is what Jesus is like. He's a hiding place from the wind. He's a cover from the tempest. He's a drink out of a cool running river in a dry land. And he's a shady rock in just an incredible wilderness. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 4 tells us of the Israelites. And it says, and they did all drink of the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them. And that rock was Christ. I want to tell you, you can come to the rock to get out of the storm, to have a break from the wind. There's water flowing from the rock, and you can find shade in the heat when you come to Jesus. He's all of these things, and he promises to be these things in our lives if we'll but come to him. If you come to him and you drink that living water, you'll never thirst again, because that living water is eternal life. What does it mean to come to Christ? What does it mean to hide in him and to find shade and shelter in him and to drink that living water? What does that mean? Well, it means to come to him and to believe in him and to completely rely upon him for your eternal destiny. He promises to give us what we need. I pray that you know him. Have a great day.